Hello all, this is 2 Minutes in Luke. This section, Luke chapter 19 and verse 11 through chapter 21 and verse 24, is dominated by Jesus' entry into Jerusalem. And I want to focus on chapter 20 and his conflict with the religious leaders. What is obvious in this chapter is that the threat posed by Jesus is now located in the temple itself and is directed against the entrenched leadership. Now, we already know that Jesus is not a passive figure, don't we? But we see that again in this chapter. He is aggressive, and the force of his challenge will be met by violence, by his death. Well, after cleansing the temple, the leaders ask Jesus, "By what authority are you doing these things?" Now, they are asking if he is a prophet or only a troublemaker. They think they've got Jesus on the horns of a dilemma. If he says that what he does by divine authority, then they could use that against him on a charge of blasphemy. And Jesus' response, well, it's more than clever, it's a prophetic challenge. By forcing them to deal with the ministry of John, a prophet in his own right, Jesus shifts attention from his own credentials to the issue of their openness to God's kingdom coming in Jesus, God's visitation. Their response shows that they are not open to Jesus' prophetic call. And these are religious leaders, mind you. How ironic is that? In the second encounter, Jesus goes on the attack by telling the parable of the vineyard. He ends that encounter by letting the leaders know that they will be destroyed by the rock of stumbling if they don't change their ways. Now, let's consider his encounter with the Sadducees. They don't believe in a resurrection, neither do they believe in angels. And notice how Jesus digs at them on both counts. I love his logic here. He reminds them of something Moses said. He referred to the Lord as the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And his point is that if God remains their God, the God of the patriarchs, if he remains their God in the time of Moses, then in some sense they must still be alive. How shall we apply this wonderful passage? Well, number one, we should aggressively stand up against and confront unspiritual leadership in our churches when the situation demands it. Jesus did, and so must we. Number two, we should not make the mistake of so many religious leaders in Jesus' day. We should accept the call of Jesus and follow him. We all have, and we want to renew that commitment every day that we live. And number three, we can believe that the dead are yet alive. And one day we will see them again. And that will be a great, great day. Folks, we are 2 weeks away from the end of our study of Luke's Gospel. It's gone quick. And we are 3 weeks away from the beginning of our study of the book of Acts, the sequel to Luke's Gospel. I'll tell you more about that later, but I want you to be planning on joining us for the study of the book of Acts. It will be a wonderful study, just as this one has been. God bless you.